Hey guys, so welcome to Fruits Basket Podcast. I'm Kyo Anime, and our awesome co-host is Francesca. Say hi, Francesca.
Francesca.
Okay. Today we have an awesome guest, Breathy from YouTube, and he reacts to Fruits Basket. And me and Francesca both watch all his videos. So say hi.
Hi everyone, I'm Breathy from YouTube, obviously. I make a ton of Fruits Basket content and episode previews, episode reactions, things like that.
Yes, and he does even more than Fruits Basket, so you guys should definitely go check him out. It's really great. And I was just gonna ask you two really simple questions, just because you're a guest and it's fun.
Yeah, ask away. I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
So what year of the Zodiac are you born on? Do you know?
I'm born on the year of the Zodiac of the ox/cow. So my favorite is
Ooh,
Hatsu Haru. I love that man so
that's
much.
awesome. That's great. I'm the rat, so we're like best brothers or something.
I'm just the dragon.
That's so cool.
Dude, the dragon is so cool. Whenever I first watched it, I'm just like, is he gonna turn into a real dragon? That would be so cool. But nope, my plans.
And then I was just gonna ask, because random question, but if you were cursed like the Somas, thank God you're not. But if you were, what animal would you want to turn into?
I honestly would like to be turned into either the rabbit because Mobiji's rat form is so cute, or the horse because being a horse is really cool. Like, dang, they're so like majestic animals, you know?
Awesome.
I'd be the rooster because I want to fly.
Ooh. Yeah, I would just be a cat, but minus the, turning into the
Yeah, I
beast.
was thinking that too.
Minus
But I was
the
like, wait,
true form part.
Yeah, I would be a lazy cat. That'd be nice.
Be Kisa. You could be a giant tiger.
Yeah, yeah, one of the two.
I love Keitha so much.
All right, so we're gonna talk about episode 7 first, which it's called. What was it called? Let's start the watermelon splitting contest. And so, very beginning, we have a flash forward with Yuki and Akito, kind of just him at the beach, and I know everybody was like, "What the?" Because it was just Akito was just there.
Yeah, I remember the episode before this when Shigure invited Akito to the beach, and I was just like, "Oh no!" I thought it was gonna be like a slow warm up, and they're gonna have like a dramatic entrance, but this episode just threw you right into it. Like, nope, he's here, he wants to be known, and welcome.
Yeah, pretty much. But then we do get to the beach with Hiro and Kisa and Tohru, and Hiro's on the phone with his mom, and we find out that she's pregnant, and Kisa and Tohru were like, "Oh, what's gonna be her name?" And he's like, "It's not my baby," which I thought was funny.
I thought it was so funny when they were acting like that's your child, Hiro.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
No, and I love the hero, like the mom having a baby, just really sweet. And I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, Shigure is just randomly there, and so he's arrived at the beach too, and he has his little fan that says "dog" on it. And well, first he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't want to swim. I just like swimsuits." And Hiro's like, "Get away from him, Kisa."
I love Hiro this episode.
Yeah. And then he's asking Tohru on a date, but then the gang comes, and he's like, "I'm just kidding." Well, then they have all their watermelons, and they start to walk up to where, I guess, the house.
Oh,
House.
the Soma vacation house. So
Yeah.
I think it's so funny how the Somas own so many things. Like, it's a joke in my videos. I'm like, I can't wait to visit the Soma space station next episode, guys.
Yeah, it's crazy. They're filthy rich, man. What else is? And a lot of people were confused, I think, about what was going on, because I think a lot of people watching the show don't really know that much. I think it's more of a Japanese thing where the watermelon splitting, where it's kind of like a piñata deal.
Yeah.
But instead of a piñata, you're trying to hit the watermelon.
Yeah, it's just like that. I never learned that until I watched anime, and I was like, "What is this?" And then I've seen multiple animes now, and I'm like, now I kind of want to try that this summer. So,
I know, it sounds fun.
On their way up, they talk about Hiro, and if Hiro's baby sibling he's gonna get, and if it's gonna be a boy or a girl. And then they get kind of deep about how he won't be able to hug it if it's a girl. and at least it won't be cursed, which was kind of important because we know like all the zodiac animals are born now, so it won't be a zodiac animal at least. And then Tohru starts to wonder about their parents and how their parents are, which we at least know like Kyo mainly for the parents.
Yeah, I made it when I was watching that. I was talking about it. I'm like, wow, I'm glad Hero's parent isn't like a trash person, because I feel like there's so many parents, like zodiac parents, that are just like either really awful to the kids, and I just feel so bad for them, because that's like a relationship that I really hold sacred, and
Yeah.
they just all get like the worst end of the stick, and it makes me kind of sad when I think about it.
I remember I forget if they showed it as like a little aside thing in the manga of the mom being like, Hero was born and she like hugged him and he turned into a goat. She goes, I love goats.
Yeah,
They brought it up, but they didn't like show that interaction. I wish they did. I would have died. That would have been so cute.
His mom is great.
Yeah, she's one of the best moms right there. So then they do, or then Momiji's like, let's have a watermelon splitting contest. They're like, we have no blindfold, no bat, and Haru just like punches it, like, and splits it with his hand, like it was nothing.
Come a big brother who can split a watermelon with his fist.
That's what
or
he
something.
says. And
I was like, what?
Yeah. Then Tori's like, I'm gonna do it too, and she's like, I used to do this with my mom, and then she like stops mid sentence and realizes she's about to talk about her mom again, and thinks about how Hiro like was talking about her mom complex, and tries to like cover it by saying something else, and then she like hits the watermelon and it doesn't break at all, and she cries.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for her. I was like, are you okay?
No.
Jeez.
One thing about the Tohru thing is this is a comment about these just past few episodes overall, is that they're really, really hammering in that Tohru puts on a bright face all the time, despite having her own inner stuff going on. And it's not just this scene, but like there's a lot of scenes in these past few episodes that are just kind of foreshadowing that Tohru has some inner demons that she has to work out.
Mm-hmm. And I think they're doing a good job at that too.
When we learned about that, I just had to reevaluate my like whole idea of Tohru, because like going through the first season, you always think that she's this happy-go-lucky girl. They never really explored like her issues. It was more like the rest of the Zodiac's issues. So like this was the first time they got it to her issues, and I was like, whoa, wait a second, this is like different and like really out there. And I was like, wow, I'm really excited to find out more about Tohru's character.
Yeah. And it starts off like with, and it's like more than one thing, like her anxiety about graduating and moving on, and like will she be able to get a good job, like the fact that she's so put so much importance in like graduating high school because her mom never got to go to high school, and stuff like that.
Oh, my aching heart, that's so sad.
Yeah.
You know, when I was first watching it, I was kind of like down on Hiro, because okay, I'm not gonna lie. When I first met Hiro I was like, this guy kind of blows. He's kind of mean. What the heck? Mean to my sweet soul Tohru. So I was kind of down on him. And when this happened, I was like, oh man, Hiro's a good guy, And then he's like really like harsh towards her, but and I was like kind of angry about it. But then like I thought about it, I'm like, he's kind of right. And like I was like, oh man, I shouldn't have been so mean on him.
Yeah, and it's like you can tell that he's in that scene, especially he's not trying to be harsh. He's just very blunt, and that's just how he is. Like he'll just say something and he doesn't think, because like even when she leaves, he's like, "What? She's fine. He doesn't realize that he was being harsh, Whereas in the episode he's introduced, he's purposefully like being rude. This time, I feel like he was just saying stuff without thinking about how it might hurt somebody.
Exactly.
Oh, there was two things I wanted to say too.
What?
That I forgot about before, I think. Kind of cut out some stuff with this is about the last episode, so I'm sorry for like going back, but they cut out some stuff of like just little tiny moments of Hiro and Kisa kind of arguing before she like got really mad at him for being mean to Tohru, where she would be like, Hiro, can you please stop being rude? And he's like, what? So, like that happened a few times before. And then he's mean to Tohru while they're walking back home, and that's when she yells at him. And I feel like if they had that, it wouldn't felt more. Would have felt like was less out of nowhere almost.
Yeah.
And they were really restrained for time because they fit like 3 chapters into that episode.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the episode things were moving. I was like, wow, we are just bang, bang, bang going.
Yeah.
So after that, they clean up their watermelon mess, and the children plus Momiji in the manga. It's funny because they're like the children and Momiji because he's not a child,
Yeah.
but fall asleep and on the floor just randomly, and Tohru comes up and puts a blanket over them, and Yuki's just like, oh, like looking at her. Yuki's admiring the motherly Tohru.
Mhm.
And then he like flashes back to Akito in the dark room and how he like wanted to imagine, you know, good things, and now he's seeing those good things through Tohru is pretty much, I think, they're going with. But then like Kyo comes up and Yuki's like, oh, and I just went oof when that happened.
What was your like take on that scene, by the way, Brian?
So that scene for me, I was just okay. So, for me, I know like a lot of people like ship one or the other, but for me, I'm just torn. Like I'm right down the middle. I'm just like, oh, it hurts for both. So I put myself in his shoes for a second. I'm like, oh, Yuki, I'm so sorry. But one thing about Yuki finally like I know that scene finally like addressed some of the things that Akito said in that room, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like because like we see this like Yuki in that room all the time. So, but we never like get the like words or what was said in it. So this is like the first time that came to light, and I was like, wow, this is really important. And I was like, oh, I was curious on what was finally said, you know, and I was like, I felt really bad for poor little baby Yuki because he was like what 5, 10 when he was hearing all this, and that must have just been really tough.
Yeah, I mean, there's like these past few episodes as well. There's a lot of foreshadowing for future developments with Yuki, which a lot of people probably are like, "What's going on with like Yuki?" Like they can tell he's changing, but they don't know what direction it's going
That's
to go
my
yet.
son right there. I'm a proud dad watching him grow up.
I noticed like everybody is like, "Oh my god, Yuki's changing so much!" Like every single like reaction video of like new viewers are like, "Oh my god, Yuki!"
Yes, he's getting so confident. It's great.
I was just kind of thrown off. I was like, where did this come from? Oh my gosh. It's like watching your son go through puberty in a night, in a week. I'm like, yes, sir.
Next though, get back on track. We have a little Kyo Tohru scene where Kyo's like, did Hiro say something to you? And she's like, oh, and she's like, I don't want to hurt you. And he's like, spill it, say it. And she asks about his parents, and he tells her about his father, and then he like tries to say that his mom like killed herself, but he can't, and he says instead she died in an accident or something along those lines. And but then he says like, don't compare your mom to our parents, and that it bothers him that she's like worried about that. And then we get like a flashback of her mom and her playing the watermelon game, but then
it was so
like,
cute.
it was so much fun, and Kyo's smiling at her.
That smile, oh
really
my
cute.
gosh, lit up the whole room. I was like, dang.
I noticed that it's always Kyo that can tell when Toru's down. Like he's always like from the earliest episodes. Kyo has always like talked to her whenever she's feeling bad. That's like a really good trait of his.
He's becoming like a Tohru mind reader almost, or something, because like and he's like, don't worry about it. You know, like he just knows almost. Seems like weird, but
this that whole moment I really enjoyed because it's something every time Toru's mother comes up, I just like there's a little pain in my heart because I just love her mom so much. I wish I could have like had some interactions when she was alive and things like that, because I think she's just a fantastic character, but we only know about her from like one side through Toru's like point of view, and I would have loved to like just know more about her, you know, like
yeah.
I mean, you never know.
I hope. I
mean, I don't want to say yes or no on that because it feels like I would be spoiling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. Oh yeah, but I don't know if we ever said it, but I definitely do not know anything past like what the anime is.
Yeah.
like
He never
shown.
said that.
Definitely anime
Yuki's
only.
just anime. Yep.
And it's rough. It's rough.
So crazy though, thinking about that Kyoko is like most people I know, Kyoko is like in their top 5 favorite characters, and she hasn't been alive for the entire series.
Yeah.
We never see her in the present tense. We've never seen her in the present tense, but she's already people's favorite.
Number one mom in the show for sure, guys. Number one mom.
I mean, that's not a hard contest.
Yeah, it's not. There's like 3 good moms.
Yeah, I mean, the only contest that we've seen is like Hiro's mom and like Hana's mom.
Kisa's Kagura's mom's okay.
Yeah.
She seems like a nice woman.
Yeah, her mom's. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true.
Oh, after that, we have Hattori coming up to Shigure, and this part kind of cracked me up. He like whips out his little like knife, and he's like, "I'm gonna cut you."
They added that, and he just threatened it in the manga, but in the anime, they added him like twirling his little scalpel around. And I was like, "Oh God, Hattori!"
But then we cut to obviously since Hattori's there, then Akito's here, and so Yuki's walking, and he sees Kurono and Akito. And then Shigure kind of talks about how obviously he's using Akito to just, like stir the pot or to mix things up even more for his plan.
And we also noticed that 2 things. One, that Yuki is very shocked to see Kurono. He's like, "What, Kurono?" Like, like that kind of hints at Kurono just not being able to see the other zodiacs very often. And also that Kurono just doesn't talk at all this episode.
I know, I'm like, he barely talks, it feels like. He like the most he talked was the one with Uo-chan.
I know, it's so sad.
So then they're like, Akito's here and we have to go see him. And so like kids wake up and they're like, "Does Tohru have to go?" And they said, "No, it's just family." And Kisa like does a little sigh of relief, and I'm like, "Oh, Kisa."
Kisa doesn't want Tohru to get beat up like she did. Oh no.
Oh gosh. And then of course Kyo can't come because he's a cat, and that was kind of when he read her mind. It was like, "Don't worry, I never go anyway." And so, and then Kyo even says like when they're all gone that Akito's probably there to just put a damper on things. And then Tohru does her cute little like roar.
Yeah. Like, that's like another instance of her being really down but feeling the need to like make things cheerful, like forcing herself almost. So like, while it's really cute, it's also kind of sad.
And she's like, "Let's make something for him to eat and to get back." And she asks Kyo what he wants, and he says pancakes. And then he says he's never had pancakes, and I'm like, "Make him some pancakes."
Get this boy some pancake stat.
Yeah. I thought it was funny because I know in the manga she's like they're sweet though, and he's like, "What? They're sweet? I thought they were just bread." And she's like, "They are called cakes." So I thought that was cute.
Oh, they're so cute interactions, man.
Yeah. So they're walking to see Akito in the annex or whatever. Yeah, we have Kisa. We were trying to kind of talk about being scared, and then we have Momiji, who is worried for like everyone, and then he's like, "Oh, it's okay. I know Akito doesn't like me." And then he thinks of Tohru, and he's like, "I want to get back soon." And he has like the saddest face. It just hurts me because Momiji's always like happy usually, but he had a sad face. And,
What a precious little boy.
He's one of the most emotionally intelligent characters too, or mature.
I mean, what had to go through, yeah.
He's like wise beyond his years in a lot of ways, and yeah, I just love Momiji, and I just want my boy to be happy, you know.
Yes.
Why Akito got to bring them all to the annex? Let them all just be happy and like frolic by the sea or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, this is like a fun vacation, and then Akito's like, "Sorry guys, your fun vacation? Let me step in real quick."
Oh, and also in the manga, they mentioned when they got to the vacation house, there were like Soma maids there that were like taking their stuff and all that. But then once Akito showed up, all the maids went over to Akito, so now Tohru's cleaning the house again, even though she's on vacation.
Yeah. But then we get Shigure and Hattori go up and see Akito, and Kurono's there, but Akito's like, "Kurono, go away. We don't need you here."
I hated that. And he just got up and is like, "Yep, I'm out." I'm like, "Oh my gosh."
And then we got Akito all over Hattori, like And what got me, like, I never thought of this before, but like when Akito hugs Hattori, that's when Akito starts talking about Yuki and like um how he told Yuki to stop like deluding himself. And I just thought about how Hattori kind of, feels bad about Yuki because he like erased memories from his friends like when he was little.
Mm.
And so, like, even when when Akito's like hugging Hattori, I was like, and talking about Yuki, I'm like, is that like affecting Hattori too? Because I was like,
I love the how they're talking about Shigure after Akito leaves and is like, I love you all, and is all creepy and stuff.
No, I was so afraid for everyone in that scene because I'm like, are they just gonna go like on a beating spree? Like, what's up? The look he had on his face, I'm just like, if I next scene with these kids, I better not see anything on their faces.
Yeah, I mean,
or I'm going to. Oh.
I don't think it's ever said, but I'm pretty sure they all just are forced to hang out with Akito. Like just chill with him.
Oh no, dude, the worst punishment right there. Oh my gosh.
I was gonna say that during that scene with Shigure and Hattori talking still, they're talking about how Yuki's not that boy in that dark room anymore, and it cuts to Kurano in the dark room, like sitting, like just waiting for Akito's orders. Almost like Kurano is replacing how Yuki used to be.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. So yes, I was like, whoa, I like the editing for that, and I don't know, it was
placement right there. That's placement.
I feel so bad for Kurano, man.
Oh, so then after the whole "I love you all" thing, we have Tohru is worried about them, and she just like, oh, what should I do? And so eventually she just like runs out and is gonna see if she can, I don't know, meet them.
Oh man, we're getting to that part. All right, guys. Alrighty, guys.
You're like, okay, let me take over here.
This scene though,
I'm really curious on what you thought about that.
Okay, so I think like out of all the animes I've watched like recently, like that was like one of the most beautiful scenes like in anime. Like the music,
No,
it was just like perfect. I was like, dang, how'd they do that?
Oh my gosh, everything about that scene.
Yeah. The like blues of the skies, because like it really matches Yuki's blue, like very serene, almost cold. Like that's his whole thing. Like it matched with him thematically. Like it wouldn't have worked as well if it was like an orange sunset. I guess I don't know how to explain.
I thought it was cute. I noticed too when Yuki finds her on the beach. He asks her, "Oh, are you lost?" And I never thought of it like as he's the kid that found her. So like,
oh man.
And I referenced to that, and I was like,
"Oh my god!"
And they start walking back, but then there's a star, and Toru's like, "Oh, look, a shooting star!" And then there's like a meteor shower.
I thought that was so gorgeous, like that meteor shower part. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is like some Your Name level stuff. This looks amazing."
Like multiple people be like, "Is this Your Name?" It's the kind of thing that like that just couldn't be captured in the manga. Like it's beautiful. It's a great scene in the manga, but it's really amplified in the new adaptation.
No, in the manga, I thought it was just like, she saw a shooting star and then she's like, look, shooting star. And it shows like two more, it doesn't show like a whole sky of them. So I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's what I mean when like they amp stuff up to 11 in this reboot, which I really like.
Yeah. So then we get Yuki starting to talk about opening the lid and how Akito helped him open the lid.
We see my son pop off.
Yeah. I still don't know exactly what Akito said to Yuki.
Yeah, true. But then it kind of talks about how when he was younger, he just felt like he was, useless, and the fact that he found Tohru and helped her, like, showed him he was needed. And that's a big part, I think, of Yuki, is just him being needed, to help someone, or like his garden.
I was about to say it relates to how he felt like he needed to garden because he wanted to create something that needed him to exist. Like how he always felt so useless as a kid. Yeah, definitely. I know I'm just repeating you, but yeah, I agree.
It's fine. He does like beautiful voice acting where like he's really quiet and he's just like he's like, oh, I'm gonna keep moving forward, and then she's like, but why are you so sad? And he starts like he kisses her on the forehead, and I freaked out like.
I know.
And then he cries.
So like, and like it's so much more than like a shipping scene. Like it, I don't know. I don't I saw some people who were like, "Oh my gosh, Yuki Tohru moment," and I'm like, "It's so much more than that." What? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if it was just a regular Yuki Toru moment, every time they have a moment like that, Toru's just really like flustered in that. But in this scene, she was just like held together and just put together, and like you could tell it was just more than that.
That's true.
I think that she was so confused because like we hear later, she couldn't really hear him saying what he was saying, some of the stuff, and like
Yeah.
she was so like caught off guard.
Yeah, he pretty much tells her that that she's so dear to him, really, and that was like the end of the episode, and I was like, whoa, that was so good. Like that was the part where he like said that, I like lost my breath for a second. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But that was episode 7, guys. So
yeah, what were your overall thoughts? Like Brian, I forget. I'm sorry.
You can just call me Bree. It's probably easier.
Okay,
But my overall thoughts on this episode was that I was having like a jolly old good time, watching. I'm like, oh yeah, this is great and all. But then that last scene with Yuki was, I had to actually like take a few days to just reflect on that, because like I thought I had such a wide range of emotions for this scene, because like I like seeing Yuki like progress throughout the series was like something I always like would make a point to keep note of, because like his development is just like from this kid that would not ever touch his feelings or talk about him, or like whenever like his issues of Akito came up, you could like see the light leave his eyes, and how like he was just really helpless about it. But this is like the first time he was able to like talk about his issues like to another person, like let it out to another person. And it just made me so emotional seeing how much he's grown as a character, and like just to be able to open up to other people. And Toru always like holds like her value, like her um helpfulness to others like really low. Like even like in the newest episode, she's just like, I can't really do much. But I like how Yuki finally described that, like, you like helped save me in a way, and like he like put more importance on her value. And I remember watching this, and like I just got so emotional, because like the music and the backgrounds and the characters and the voice acting, like even like when Yuki was like saying his like things, like with the voice actor's voice was like cracking and stuff, and I just thought that was so beautiful and like so much more like heartfelt than like anything I've seen in so long. And I was like, this is like truly amazing.
And I loved it whenever he was still talking and it cut into like Toru chasing him and like the credits rolling and stuff. I don't know why that really got me. I loved it so much.
Yeah, same. I pretty much all what you guys just said, because that, like I said, that scene Yuki was just like the best scene I've seen in anime in a long time. So like,
oh, that's not even the climax. Like that's not even the climax of the beach arc. Like we still got so much more.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what
it honestly could have been the climax with like how well everything was. Like when the music hit, I was like, no, this is real, isn't it?
Yeah, it was so good.
Gosh.
Yeah, I loved it so much. I didn't think, because in the manga I liked it, but I wasn't like freaking out over it like I was in this. So I really loved how they did it.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those scenes that when you transition from manga to anime, they can really like add so many things to it and heighten the experience and show that this is like so important, like with the stars, like how you guys were talking about, and like just the addition of music and like voice acting and stuff can like take a scene like this to like a whole nother level.
You ready for episode 8?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So that one was called Well, It's True. And we started out actually with Kagura, which, yay, we haven't seen her in a while. We also have Rin there. And that's when she's like, let's go to the vacation house. And Rin's just like, stop playing pretend love, I think is what she said, right? Yeah.
She's talking about how Kagura is acting like and Kyo are like in love, and like how they're a couple, and she's kind of calling Kagura out for the way that she acts with Kyo.
Yeah.
And I really like that a lot.
And it kind of just shows how like Ren's very like another blunt character, I feel like. So
I wonder if Hiro was visiting her. He must have gotten it from her.
Yeah, he must have learned. Like Rin was one of those characters that I wanted to know. So like I like she's probably like up there as one of the characters I wanted to know so much more about because every time she touches like her foot into the show, everything just feels like a bunch of chaos just flies everywhere and everything gets moving. And I'm like, wow, what a character, honestly.
And she's like one of my favorite characters too. I love her so much. Just her whole I'm just so excited to get more of her. Basically,
that's a queen right there. That's a queen right there.
The goth queen or something like that. Much.
Yes, ma'am. Goth queen of Fruits Basket.
Her and Hana.
Hana, yeah.
Oh, I love, dude. Those are two of my favorite characters, too. They're just both so amazing.
No.
But we get to meet Kagura's mom for like a little bit there, and she's like, "Yeah, don't go to the vacation house. Akito's there."
I don't want to get beat up like Kisa.
Exactly.
Yeah, that part just spoke to me that like it's not like even a secret that like that Akito does these kind of things, but everyone just has to sit back and just like accept it, and that just made me feel so sad. Like, it made me so bummed about all that.
And then we found out that like Rin's kind of like staying there right now. So now we know at least where she's at.
Yeah, I was, I when I first watched it, like, I had to go, but like when I went back and watched it the second time, I had to pause it. I just had to think about it. I'm like, wait a second, they're not sisters, so I had to think, what is going on with her parents and stuff? I was like, so it was a lot more important than I thought. I was like, wait a second, this is big.
More mystery. Yep.
There's a lot of story with her, like how she got like injured, like Haru mentioned. I think in the episode where he said they broke up, he was talking about how she's been acting different since she got injured. We don't know what happened.
Oh my gosh.
Like that's why she's in the hospital. So like, there's a lot of mystery surrounding her.
And then she left the hospital early too. She didn't fully recover or anything. My poor Reed.
Yeah, that's probably why. Because a lot of people also, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but
that's okay.
People thought when they saw her that she was tired out from walking there, but in the opening it shows her on a train, so she took the train there. She's just really messed up from being injured.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, how it's like she walked all the way there. I'm like, no, she's just like tired.
Yeah.
No, when I first watched it, that's what I thought. I'm like, did she walk there?
No, it's okay. Even I thought that for a second, but then I was like, wait, she's on a train in the opening.
Yes. And then we have so Yuki, and it kind of recaps a little bit of Yuki's scene, and they return to the house and eat pancakes, which yay. And then Tohru starts talking about his soft voice and how she couldn't really hear what he was saying, and but then Hattori like wakes her up and brings her back to the real world, and
I love Hattori so much. Like, he can just be standing there, and I'm like, I love you, man.
I think that soft voice thing is like such a great metaphor for like everyone, because like everyone has these like inner demons that it's really hard for them to voice out. And like just like Yuki, like even though he was trying to like get it across, it's hard for him to speak up and like let his emotions and feelings be known. And that can like apply to a lot of characters. Just like Tohru, like she has this voice that we can't hear because we haven't like explored like her demons and stuff. And I thought that was just like a really in-depth moment, like it's like 2021. I was like, wow.
Yeah, when I first like read the manga, I remember like I literally thought like she kept saying soft voice, and I was like, can she just not hear them? But then I was like, oh, it's like okay. I was like, does she
kind of like
are her ears bad?
Yeah, exactly.
I noticed that that's a theme in shoujo manga that I've read. It's like another one I read where they're like, the box in our heart that we with a key on it and we can't unlock it, and I'm like, dang, I guess it's just the shoujo thing, but like it works well. So
yeah, but so Hattori apologizes to like having her be alone, and she's like, you don't have to apologize, and then she realizes he's like worried, and she's like, oh, I feel so blessed, and that was really cute.
I feel like Hattori is one of the most slept on characters because like he's introduced as this guy that's like this evil big bad guy that wipes memories and that you shouldn't mess with him. But just every time you like get to know him or learn more about him, you just realize that he's this like cold stoic guy who's just really kind and cares so much. But like even like nowadays you wouldn't even think that like he's this evil guy that wipes memories. He's like this kind-hearted man that just really cares. And it's honestly amazing. I love him so much.
Yeah, I love his interactions with Tohru because you can tell he like really cares about her because she's so sweet, and he's like, "This is a good kid. I'm gonna protect her."
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm gonna do the best I can. I'm like, this is just amazing.
I
I
know.
really want the best for him. Like especially knowing his backstory, I want him. He could become like stumble, win the lottery or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
please, he deserves it.
That's like me with Momichi too.
Yeah.
Me with all the summers, to be honest, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
So then Hattori leaves, and Kyo, she's like in her mind again, thinking about things. And Kyo comes up, and he's like, "You okay? Are you sick?" And she's like, "Oh no, I'm fine." And she's like, "Oh crap, I'm worrying Kyo now."
Yeah, and there's her doing the thing again where she's too scared to like show her like fears or doubts or anything, and she puts on a happy face and it's like, let's go to the beach, you know.
And play in the sand. And Kyo's like, "Is that even fun?" So and then we get Shigure and Yuki for a little bit, where Shigure asks Yuki what Akito said to him, and Yuki just says the truth. And he's like, "Are you happy about that or satisfied?" And he walks away, and Shigure, evil or dark Shigure comes out.
I love that clap back from Yuki. Yuki's like, "Oh, you would like to know, huh? You would like to know, wouldn't you?" Like, I'm gonna
And
close
then me
my
as the
book.
audience, I'm like, yes, I would like to know.
He's like, I'm gonna close my book and get out of here. You got what you needed from me. I was like, wow. That was like the first time I was like, all right, Yuki, what is going on here, son? Let's go.
Yeah, but like, so we hear like Akito told him the truth, but we don't know the extent of like what Akito told him.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that Akito said, "Stop deluding yourself."
Mm-hmm.
That's all we kind of know. You know?
Dude, every time Shigure pops up on screen during the beach arc, it's just like, I'm here to just stir the pot, guys. You're not gonna get that regular Shigure from like the regular season or anything. It's like, no, I'm here to just start everything. I am the instigator in this all.
Yeah, and it's so fun to see people talking about what they think he's doing.
I do.
Yeah.
Because
Okay, just like on a little side tangent, what is this man up to with Rin, with everybody? Like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, I thought I knew 1 second, and then the Rin thing happens, and I'm like, oh no, wait, what is she doing? What are they doing? What are their plans? I'm like, oh my gosh.
no, and it's so funny because like sometimes I hear people who kind of have good ideas, and then sometimes I hear people who are just so off, and it's like laughable how off they are. But like I get how they got there. Like, because there's no real way to know right now.
Yeah, I mean, he gives like almost no hints. There's like no hints. It's just based your interpretation on what he wants to accomplish. You know,
it's so big, but like as somebody who's read it, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh, okay. I see you, Shigure. I see what you're up to.
And but then we get Akito and Haru, which but
Made me so sad. Can I just like I just want to go off on the scene because I don't know why it is, but just the idea of like Haru being called stupid and like him just sitting there and taking it and like I don't know, it made me so sad because I hate because you know that like when he was little he was like so upset and full of anger because people would always call him stupid and like Haru, you're not stupid, you're just a little airheaded, it's okay. Like he's so sweet and he's always caring about others before himself, so he's a lot like Tohru in that way.
Yeah,
Please don't call my boy stupid and laugh at him.
And then he talks about how he's like, he asks not to laugh at him like that, even when Akito's laughing. But then we go back to the beach real quick, and Kyo and Tohru are trying to make sand castles, but they just look like sand hills, like or mountains.
Yeah. My favorite line is Tohru being like, "You've never made these, then I'm your senpai." And Kyo goes, "Senpai, you suck at this."
Yeah. And then we get Bunny Momiji because he hugs Tohru and they're back.
That was like the first transformation in so long. It kind of caught me off guard. I'm like, whoa, what is going on? Did he just transform? I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, it's like I feel like with Fruits Basket at the beginning of the show, especially the first few episodes, it's like transformation every 5 seconds because they're trying to like remind you that that's how the show works, and like it's kind of like lighthearted at first, like, oh, look at all these boys turning into animals. Like it's all fun and games, and then they get into the deep stuff, but there's still like that fun there. But now it's more like the story's not about them transforming into animals, you know?
Yeah.
Like it could still be a really good story without that.
Yeah. And then Yuki and Haru are kind of like coming to the beach too, and they're talking, and they're just kind of checking up on each other if they're okay, because best bros.
No, yeah, I love that their relationship together is just so amazing to me because like even in the real Chinese legend, the rat rode the cow to victory to win like the race to be first in the zodiac, and like it's just really
Hmm.
cool that they're there for each other because like you know
Yeah.
their closeness in the legend and stuff, and I love that Haru and Yuki have someone to like just be there for each other. Like it's almost like they're brothers, and so like I just cause I like in my mind I'm like yeah they're just brothers at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, kind of brothers. I mean, Haru was in love with Yuki in the past,
Yeah,
so
you know, he's in love. You know what? That's okay. That's
like
okay.
I can kind of see some like shipping material there. But
Yeah.
in the original, it's like the rat was using the ox, and the ox was stupid because he didn't know the rat was there, and then he jumped to first place. But now they've transformed their relationship into, and it's even back in like Haru's introduction episode of him supporting Yuki, not because Yuki's tricking him, but because they care about each other and like carrying Yuki on his back, not out of like being duped by him, but them just having a strong relationship.
Exactly.
That ties into Yuki laughing at something Haru said. Haru being, instead of like hurt, like how he is with Akito, being like, "This is how I like it," because he knows that Yuki cares about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a condescending laugh.
Yeah, he's just like, "You said something funny, haha." Like he's not trying to hurt him, and it's like mission between Yuki and Akito there.
And then Toru comes up to Yuki and he apologizes and for like what he said like the day before, and he's like, but not for the kiss.
Oh yeah, I'm like
Oh
Yuki.
man, main key back at it again in that
Yeah,
scene. I was like, Jesus.
no.
But then he tells me like to forget the rest, and she's just like, no, like that was really important to you, obviously.
Hmm.
And but then he just like reassures her that, you know, of course whispers in her ear this, but
Yeah. Oh, I thought that part was so like it was really important and like deep. But all I thought I kept thinking, I'm like, bro, Kyo and all them are just behind them.
I
Like,
know.
what is going? Yuki, what you could tell them? What are you guys doing
He
over
turning
there?
on Prince
Yeah.
Charming mode.
They're just having their little moment, and they're just like, "What are you guys doing over there, huh?" I just couldn't stop thinking about it and thought it was funny.
But he pretty much just assures her that someday he will tell her, you know, whatever he wants to tell her, whatever it is.
And like
And
Yeah,
that scene is so like in the like watch like the first time reading it, I'm like, oh okay, whatever. But now like I think I just reread like a lot of Fruits Basket recently, and I'm like crying over this because I'm like, oh, you can tell her. It's okay.
but then Toru's like, she gets all flustered, and she notices that he's more bold now, and I'm like, exactly.
She
That's
says, I
literally
think
what
he's toying with me.
what a smooth operator right there. Jeez.
But then, like, all of a sudden, like, Yuki goes up to Kyo and says, like, if you ever see Akito, like, don't lose your temper around him, or something around those lines.
Yeah,
And
it's really important because Yuki's basically saying, don't lose your temper around Akito, or else Akito might come and like take it out on Toru.
exactly.
Yeah, you got to keep your calm, or else Akito's gonna come for Toru, and we don't want that. So, and Kyo's probably in his head like, yeah, I know that. I'm not stupid. That's why he gets mad at Yuki, you know?
Yeah, Kyo's sort of like, duh, but.
Yeah.
But then it was funny because he's like, who do you think you are? And he says, like, Sama or whatever, but it means, like, someone better than you, pretty much, was the translation.
Yeah, he basically called himself.
That part was so.
And then
Oh my
Haru's like,
God.
oh, Yuki's so cool.
It was so unexpected for him to say that, like, especially with the look he had. I'm like, oh my gosh, where did this come from? You know?
I love the like sadistic Yuki look.
But then we have this funny, like, really tiny short scene where we have, well, I thought it was kind of funny because people have been using it a lot on Twitter of Kureno with his computer. Like,
it's
everyone...
Dude, I'm glad Akito lets Kurino at least surf the web.
Exactly.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
He's not totally trapped. Akito's like, you can't leave the room or anything, but the World Wide Web, your whole ocean right there. Just go on.
Yeah,
it.
somebody took that Vine. I don't know if you guys know this Vine.
No.
Where it's the girl like typing, and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm screaming! I'm bitch, I'm crying!" And then it cuts to her face, and she's just blank faced. And somebody took that and put it over Kureno typing. He's like, "I am screaming, girl! I am laughing so hard," and it cuts to Kureno's face.
Oh my gosh. But then Akito is like, do you want to meet Toru? And then it like just that's the scene. Um,
Uh, dude, it's just foreshadowing their eventual meeting. There were so many like foreshadows for like eventual meetings, and I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
like when Yuki told Kyo like don't be careful around Akito. So I'm just like, all right, they're meeting sometime soon, huh?
yeah.
Hmm. I really love this. I think that the reason a lot of people like the beach arc, besides like the crazy stuff that happens, is that it's one of the first times in Fruits Basket where there's a big overarching story that lasts like so many chapters or like episodes. Because usually, like in season one, there were a lot of like just one-off episodes that didn't really connect at all. We're getting like these past few episodes, they all connect and they're all like part of one long story that's going on right now. And I think that that's really
Yeah,
cool for Fruits Basket because we start off and it's just like this week we're gonna meet a Zodiac character, or this week we're gonna learn a tragic backstory, and it's all really good, but it's not part of like the overall story.
I love seeing it all connect. Like it feels like a lot of the puzzle pieces are like falling together with this arc. So I just love seeing it all like come together. Especially like it feels like a mini gathering of all like the Zodiacs. Like I thought Kakuto was gonna be there and just have them all there. I'm like, bro, is this gonna like some special
Ayame and
occurrence?
Ritsu aren't there either. Ritsu is one of those characters that I wish got more screen time.
Oh my gosh,
Exactly.
I totally did not even. I'm so sorry, Ritsu. I totally forgot you existed. Oh my gosh, Ritsu's there, not there
No,
too.
it's okay.
Yeah. Then we get what's after that? Oh, we have Kureno and Akito go on a walk.
Oh, when I
Hmm.
when I saw
Sugar.
that, I'm like, oh, it's going down. It's going down. They're leaving the house on their own. Oh, it's going down.
Yeah,
At that point, I thought that I like when because of the Yuki thing earlier, I'm like, dude, it's time.
yeah,
At that point in my mind, I was strapped in. I'm like, all right, I'm ready. Hit
yeah,
me with it. But no.
I like how we talk from Akito finally, like even though like Chrono barely says anything.
I,
But yeah, good.
oh, I thought it was like really interesting because like we don't get that many like long drawn out conversations of Akito, so we don't really like know the way they think and stuff. And this scene with him and Kureno was like really like their our first real taste of what they're like and their inner workings of the personality, which is garbage by the way. Um yeah, so I enjoyed this scene in a way because I'm like I'm glad I know more about Akito, but in another part of me is like, man, I could have honestly the way they phrase things like when he's like Toru's like the ugly girl, I'm like one more
no, and
time.
she's so pretty.
One more time.
Akito's gotta know.
Say it one more time. And then like that face like with when like when she was talking about Kyo, I thought it was just so ironic. Like she's like who wants to hang out with a monster while she's talking to Kunino, and I hope in his mind he's just like, dang, I'm hanging out with one right now.
Yeah. Thing I really like about that scene is Akito is not considering Kyo a person. He's like, oh well, now Toru's all alone because I took all the Zodiac members, and Kureno is like, obviously he's a good boy, and he's like, Kyo's there, and Akito's
Mm-hmm.
face is just like in that scene. It's like, is it fun hanging out with a monster? But what I notice, I mean, I might just be reading into it, is Akito doesn't. He's not saying it like all evilly like he normally does. He's not. His eyebrows aren't hunched like he's angry. He's genuinely thinks that Kyo is a monster. Like that's just how he thinks, and he's like, "Is it fun hanging out with a monster? Like, why is she having so much fun? Like, is she enjoying that?" Just the genuine like confusion in his face, like he genuinely doesn't understand why. Like,
Yeah.
and then it cuts to Kyo giving Toru a hermit crab, and it's just it's so cute, and you're like the contrast between how Akito sees Kyo as a monster, and then it just cuts to him being like the sweetest little bean giving Toru a hermit crab, you know?
And I loved in the manga she called it Hermit Crab Song.
Oh, that is really
Oh,
cute actually.
But yeah, so we cut to that scene, and she asks about why he doesn't like to swim, and they talk about the true form, and then it gets into his bracelet that he wears.
they kind of
Or
mistranslated a little
I
bit
was
there.
always curious about that bracelet.
I feel like it could have been done better because in the manga they say that there was like dozens of human sacrifices were used to create the bracelet.
I just remember it saying there were sacrifices. I don't remember if it said how many,
I'm not
but yeah.
well. They said, but this time they just said a sacrifice, like one, but there was definitely
Oh,
multiple.
yeah. I didn't say I thought it was multiple, but I thought it was kind of like when he talked about like sacrifice, like the little crab like went off, like jumped
No,
off.
and like has me thinking of a lot of stuff that could symbolize, but I won't get into that. But another thing is Takaya Sensei, the author, was very upset with a lot of the choices in 2001, and one of them was like hair colors and colors of things in general, because they wouldn't listen to her for what she wanted. And they made the beads white and black in 2001. Which
Yeah.
they're supposed to be white and red because they're lacquered with blood, and the red ones are like coated with blood. I don't know. That's just another thing that the 2001 kind of messed up.
Yep. But he starts talking about it and saying how like so many others had died, but yet is it like he's alive, and he starts feeling like like he's trampling on people is what he says.
Yeah, and like we get the splash to a scene with him and show that the readers know about, and it's like very upsetting.
Yeah, and then like Tori grabs it though and then like they have a cute little like they stare at each other moment, but then a wave comes and hits them.
Ocean zoned, baby.
Yeah.
And Tori's just like scared, but then Kyo just starts like yelling at the ocean.
I think it's really amazing how like their relationship has progressed so far that Toru is able to like grab the beads and like interact with them, because that's something Kyo holds really dear, because it keeps him like normal, I guess. And like that's one of the most precious things to him, and Toru can so casually just interact with it. Because I feel like if it was anybody else, it's like no, sir, no, ma'am, stay away from these.
True, but of course Akito's watching.
When I saw that, I was just like, look at Akito being a weird stalker. And then my boy Yuki's stalking him back. I'm like, oh my god.
It's a stalker.
Look at this inception moment.
And then Akito's like, you know what? We're going to go back. I don't feel so well. And turns around and again brings up the whole like how Kyo's a monster and he's the most deluded of them all. Something like that.
Yeah. I like feeling of deluding himself by thinking that he can be hanging out like a normal person with Toru.
And then Yuki sees in the far distance a Rin. So
Wild Rin appears.
They go back to the house, and Toru thinks about pretty much Kyo's small voice. She talks about that, and that's when she kind of, like we already said, talks about her own small voice. Then the sheet blows away like really far, like she's putting up like sheets on a line, and it blows away.
That was a strong gust of wind. I was like, Jesus, that thing is flying.
Yeah, I was like, how'd she find that thing? But who cares? It's her.
Yeah, so she goes in the woods and gets it, and then there's a horse, and she hit her head on the tree because she was surprised. But she sees,
I know, she's so clumsy.
Yeah, and she sees the boots, and she's like, "Oh, it's a Zodiac." And then Yuki's there, and like he's like, "Well, this is Rin. Like, does she need help? Like, why is she?" And she almost kicks Toru in the face.
No, that was actually a lot scarier than I thought it was. Like, like in retrospect, I'm like, whoa, that that could have been really bad.
I know. I mean, I have friends who have been kicked by a horse because she has horses, but like not in the head.
I've been stomped on by a horse, but not kicked. So on my foot. But
I've never seen a horse in real life, so
I fell off a horse over my break from college, but we won't talk about that.
I thought it was really cool how her horse like even looking at it, I love how in those Zodiac forms they still have a little bit of their features, like regular human form features on her, and like Rin's like jet black hair was just really nice on her horse form. I was like, wow, I love the personalities they keep.
I love how like her and Haru were dating, and they're like the two big animals, like the horse and the cow.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
The farm animals. They're like
the horse girl and cowboy.
Exactly.
When she transformed back into a human form, I was like not expecting it to be like as provocative as it was. I'm just
actually, where's the podcast chat? I gotta post what it was in the manga because it was actually much more provocative.
I was no, it's like this beach arc is just more provocative than it normally is. I'm just like, whoa, what is going on now? I remember I was watching it. I'm just like, everyone cover your eyes. This is a PG-13.
Hold on. Keep talking, and I'm just gonna post what it was in the manga whenever I get it up. But you guys keep talking.
Okay.
One part that I thought was so funny was when Toru's like, "Wow, she's a voluptuous beauty."
Exactly.
Yeah, that was Toru's bisexual awakening, is what people were calling it on Twitter.
Were they?
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny. I'm like how she described her. I'm like, wow. But like
Real.
honestly, like I don't know what it is, but like the facial expression Rin makes are just so detailed. I'm just like, this is a model right here. Like
Mm.
every Soma member is just a model.
She has the most beautiful eyes too. I just want to show you guys what it was in the manga. I'm sure you already know, but I'm gonna post it in the podcast chat
Okay.
for Bree to see.
Oh my gosh. What there's like no smoke or anything.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Oh boy, they're just like, sorry, there's no more smoking. We're just going full nude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Imagine just seeing this on the screen while you're watching Fruits Basket with your 10-year-old sister.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, like yeah, what was it say? Oh, she tells like not Kyo, Yuki to like don't tell anyone. I'll kill you if you do. And Yuki's all like, you can't kill me.
Oh yeah, Yuki's just like, yeah, sure,
Uh,
whatever. You can't handle all of this.
I mean, to be fair, he's like the strongest besides like Shisho when you think about it, and like
Yeah.
Rin is like obviously very sick right now or unwell. So like, how's she gonna kill him?
Yeah, but he does. But she does. She goes off. Oh, well, she does say like you're only Akito's toy, and
Oh, see, that's where old Yuki would have been like, dang, I'm hurt. But
yeah,
he's just like, man, I just say what you want. You ain't touching this.
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's really
Oh.
it goes back to like whatever conversation he had with Akito, and like him realizing something in
Mhm.
himself that he has to change.
So, but anyway, she leaves, and Yuki says like leave Rin to me to Toru, and he's about to go back see Akito, I guess. And Toru's like, that's when she's like, oh no, I can't really do much, and so she just tells him like, I'll be waiting for you, and
That
Oh,
scene was so much that scene was actually more well animated than I thought it was, and I wasn't ready for it. And I saw that, I'm like, that is a looker right there. Oh my
so pretty.
gosh.
The
Mhm.
music
Yeah, I was like,
was so pretty too.
and but then she goes back to like hanging the sheets on the line. She starts thinking about how there's only the rooster left of all the zodiac animals, and and then we get Akito being like, "Bring Kyo to me
Yeah,
tomorrow."
and Toru's like, I wonder if Akito's the rooster.
Yeah, she does say that.
And we get Rin like really mad too, stomping out the sandcastle, which it was
She
already
just
gone.
hates
But she's like,
sandcastles. She just hates sandcastles.
yeah, that's it. That's her whole motivation. She wants to destroy all the sandcastles.
Oh my! I like when Akito was like, "Bring Kyo to me." For me, I was just like, "Wow, this is intense." And then Shigure and Hattori are like, "Oh my god, it's going down!"
Yeah.
And I'm just like, "What is?" There's the
Yeah.
mood. The mood is just out the window now.
No,
Yep.
and Shigure's like, "Ooh, I wonder what's gonna go on," and Tori's like, "You're enjoying this way too much."
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, dude, this episode was like build up, like it just built up everything for the next episode. I'm like, you can, like, if episode 9 is just build up for episode 10, I felt like this whole beach arc has just been like an uphill roller coaster, and you're just waiting for it to be like that downward trend where it's just everything
Hmm.
like goes down. So like, I'm honestly so excited. Like every Monday, I'm just like, all right, my feel is good. But now, this
Yeah,
episode just left me wanting like, all right, I need episode 9 like right now,
Yeah.
like
and there's like
stat.
as manga readers, I'm pretty sure everybody's really hyped for the next few episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
No, everybody in my comment section is like episode 9. Oh,
Yes.
and I'm
No,
like, oh my
I'm
god.
excited for episode 9. I'm like, I've been like tweeting. I'm like, if I'm dead next week, you guys know why.
yeah, I think I don't know if I'm most excited for 9 or 10 because I reread the beach arc recently, and I pretty much know what's gonna happen in which episode just based on like chapters. Like, oh man, I'm excited for episode 9 and 10, but I guess I'm more excited for 9. I don't know, they're both so good.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's because I do like those live reactions. I'm really nervous. Like, bro, I don't want to cry on camera again. It cannot get too intense, okay? I'm gonna just pause the film and be like, all right, guys, I just had to do a quick cry real quick. That's it. Like, oh man, I'm just so nervous, excited. Like, I have so many emotions when it comes to like episode, like the next episode coming up, because I'm just ready for just like the climax of the arc, you know?
Like so much like stuff that's gonna happen this season that it's almost like it's just horrible to wait for it, but it's just so fun to be a part of the fandom. Like Being part of the Fruits Basket fandom is one of the best things that's happened to me in like the past year. It's so amazing. I met so many like good friends through this and all that.
Yeah, the one thing about the fandom that I really enjoy so much is everybody's passion for it. Because like I used to be like someone that casually watched it, you know, like I enjoy the series and everything about it. But ever since I started making videos about it and like everybody's passion for the show just brought it to another level for me. It's like
Yeah,
something I really cherish, you know? Like every week,
it's the same with me.
yeah, like all I care so much about all the characters and like what they go through. And like you can even see like a bit of yourself in the character, like in at least one or two characters, you know? So like now for me, like every month, like my Mondays are my Fridays basically, you know? Like I'm excited for Mondays. Like I wait through the weekend. I'm like, is it
Me
Monday yet?
too.
Is it
Yeah.
Monday yet? It's Saturday.
It's the same for me because like I always loved Fruits Basket, like, or when I read it a few years ago, I really loved it. But I'd read dozens and dozens of manga at the time because I didn't really have access to TV or internet very much. Like I loved Fruits Basket, but it's not like it was like my favorite series. But like I guess with the reboot and just getting to know people and like I guess it's hyped it up now. Now it's like my favorite series. You know what I mean?
The reboot has definitely done like the show so much justice. Uh, like when you compare like the Fullmetal Alchemist to Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, I feel like that's almost like the same equivalent because of how well they're handling the show and everything.
Mhm.
I'm like,
And people call it Fruits Basket motherhood.
I never heard of that. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
That's the inside joke there of the fandom.
Yeah, with Kyoko.
Oh man, but like, yeah, I'm just really, I don't know. Like season 2 has just been amazing so far. Like I have no complaints about it. Yeah, everyone gave me high expectations for the beach arc, and I was just like, I hope it lives up to it, and it's been living up to it so far.
Thanks a lot, 3D, for coming. That was awesome.
I really enjoyed it. It was actually a lot of fun.
And yeah, we had a lot of fun. And just next time, if anyone wants to join, come on, join our. We need more guests. So if you want to just, if Fruits Basket fan and you want to come in, come on, message me somewhere. And thanks for watching, guys, or listening. Bye.
You guys should like, comment, and subscribe. This is a lot of fun.